Hey everyone, welcome back to the Smart English Podcast. I'm Mia, and I'm here with Alex.
Hey everyone, great to be back.
We're really excited to dive into another interesting topic with you today. So, Alex, how's your day going so far? I feel like I've been running around all morning already.
Oh, it's been a pretty typical Tuesday, I guess. A bit busy with emails and meetings, but I did manage to sneak in a quick coffee break, which was absolutely essential. How about you? Are you feeling the Tuesday grind as well?
Totally feeling it. My to-do list seems to grow faster than I can tick things off, honestly. But hey, at least we're here now, talking about something fun and engaging, right? It's always a good way to pause and reset the brain for a bit.
Absolutely. This is definitely the highlight of my afternoon, escaping the inbox for a while.
Speaking of feeling busy and running around, I literally just got home before rushing here, and as I was walking through the door, I started thinking about how often we actually talk about our homes in daily conversations. It's such a fundamental and personal part of our lives, isn't it?
Oh, it really is. It's probably one of the first things you ask someone about or end up describing when you're getting to know them. Where do you live? What's your place like? Is it big? It just comes up all the time, naturally.
Exactly. And sometimes finding the right words to describe your home, to really capture the feeling or the layout, can be a little tricky, especially if you're trying to explain it in a new language. You want to paint a clear picture. So today, we wanted to chat about just that, how to describe your home effectively and naturally. So, Alex, let's start with the absolute basics. If someone asks you, where do you live, what's your go-to answer? And how do you usually elaborate on it a little to give more context?
Well, I usually start by saying, I live in an apartment. It's pretty straightforward and immediately tells them the type of dwelling. And then if they seem interested or if the conversation continues, I might add a little more detail without oversharing. I'd say something like, it's a two-bedroom apartment, not huge, but it's really comfortable. You don't always need to give exact square footage. Not huge but comfortable gets the message across pretty well and gives a good impression.
Right, comfort is absolutely key. And what about the overall feel or atmosphere of your place? Do you have a phrase you like to use for that? Something that encapsulates the vibe.
Definitely. I often describe it as cozy. It just has this warm, inviting feeling, especially in the evenings. So I'd say it feels very cozy, especially when I have the lights dimmed and a book open. Or if your place is more spacious and modern, you might say it's quite open and airy. Or it has a very modern feel to it, depending on the style and decor. The word cozy is definitely one of my favorites for a home.
That's a great point about capturing the feel. So if you lived in a house, how would that description change slightly? I mean, beyond just saying, I live in a house, what kind of details could you add?
Good question. If I lived in a house, I might say, I live in a small house with a garden. Or to be more specific about the type, I live in a semi-detached house in the suburbs. Adding with a garden immediately gives a nice visual and a sense of outdoor space. Or mentioning the suburbs tells people about the location and general vibe of the neighborhood. You could also say it's a three-story house if you want to be specific about the number of levels. Or it's an old Victorian house with a lot of character if it has a particular architectural style.
Those are really practical additions. And speaking of specific rooms, what's your favorite part of your apartment? And how would you describe it to someone who's never been there?
Oh, my favorite place is definitely the living room. It's where I spend most of my time, unwinding after work or on the weekends. I'd say my favorite place is the living room. It's quite bright because it has a big window overlooking the park, and it's where I have all my books and my really comfy armchair. The big window overlooking the park gives a sense of light and a view, and all my books and comfy armchair really paints a picture of a personal, relaxing space. It just feels like me, if that makes sense.
I love that description. It paints a clear picture and makes it sound so inviting. And what if there's something you don't particularly like about your home, but you want to phrase it gently without sounding like you're complaining?
That's a common one. You might say, the kitchen is a bit small, but it's functional. Or, I wish the bathroom had more natural light, but it gets the job done. You acknowledge the drawback, the bit small or wish it had more light, but then you pivot to a positive or neutral point, like it's functional or it gets the job done. It's about being realistic without sounding too negative or complaining too much.
That's very useful advice. It's about finding that balance in your description. So we've covered the basics, the feel, different types of homes, and even talking about specific rooms and their pros and cons. I think our listeners are getting a really good toolkit for general descriptions now. Now, let's put some of these ideas into a real conversation, like we're just catching up. Alex, imagine we're friends and I haven't had a chance to visit your new place yet. I'm curious to hear all about it.
Okay, I'm ready for the interview. What do you want to know, Mia?
So, hey Alex, it's been a while. How's the new apartment working out? I still haven't had a chance to visit, with everything going on.
Oh, Mia, it's really good. I absolutely love it. I was a bit worried about moving to a new area and adjusting, but it feels so much more like home now. It's a bit further out from the city center than my last place, which means a slightly longer commute, but honestly, the neighborhood is incredibly peaceful and green, so it's totally worth it.
Oh, really? That sounds so nice. I remember you saying you wanted something a bit quieter, away from the city bustle. So what's it actually like inside? Is it a big place? Small? What kind of layout does it have? I'm picturing it now.
Well, it's a two-bedroom, but it actually feels quite spacious for an apartment, which was a pleasant surprise. The main living area is open plan, so the living room, dining area, and kitchen flow seamlessly into each other. I really like that because it feels very airy and bright. There are big windows across one wall, and they let in a tremendous amount of natural light, especially in the afternoon, which just makes everything feel so much more inviting.
That's amazing. Natural light makes such a huge difference, doesn't it? It can totally change the mood of a place. And open plan sounds really modern and great for entertaining. What about the bedrooms? Are they a decent size too?
Yeah, the bedrooms are both a decent size. Mine, the master bedroom, has a small balcony, which is a lovely spot to have my morning coffee and just get some fresh air when the weather's good. It's really quiet out there. The second bedroom I'm actually using as a dedicated home office, which has been incredibly helpful since I'm working from home more often now. It keeps work separate from the rest of the living space.
Oh, a balcony. That's a real bonus, especially for morning coffee and just a moment of peace. I'm a bit jealous, actually. And a dedicated home office sounds like an absolute dream, especially these days. Is there anything you don't like about it? Any small drawbacks or quirks?
That's a good question. I guess the only thing, if I had to pick something, is that the kitchen, while it's part of the open plan, doesn't have a huge amount of counter space. So when I'm really getting into cooking a big meal, it can feel a little cramped at times. But it's totally manageable, and I've found ways to make it work, honestly. It's a small price to pay for everything else I love about the place, honestly.
That's totally fair. Every place has its quirks and compromises, right? But it sounds like you've really found your happy place there, Alex. I'm genuinely happy for you. It sounds incredibly comfortable and inviting, and I can almost picture myself having coffee on that balcony.
Thanks, Mia. It really is. You'll definitely have to come over soon and see for yourself. I'd love to show you around.
I definitely will. Consider that an invitation accepted. That dialogue really brought it to life and showed how these phrases can be used naturally. Before we wrap up, Alex, are there a few key words or phrases that stood out to you as particularly useful or perhaps a little trickier for learners to grasp?
Absolutely, Mia. I've got 3 that I think are really good to know for describing a home. First, cozy. It means comfortable, warm, and inviting. It's a fantastic word for describing a feeling, not just a physical space. For example, after a long day, curling up on the sofa in my living room feels incredibly cozy. Then there's airy. This means spacious and well-ventilated, often with a lot of natural light. You'd say, the apartment has an open-plan living room, which makes it feel very airy. And finally, functional. This means practical and useful, even if it's not fancy or particularly large. So if something is small but still works well, you can say, the kitchen is small but it's very functional for daily cooking and meal prep.
Those are excellent choices, Alex. Cozy and airy really help describe the atmosphere and vibe of a home, and functional is perfect for acknowledging practical aspects without sounding negative. They add so much depth to descriptions. Great picks. Well, we've had a really good chat today about how to describe your home, from the different types of places we live in to the specific feelings and features. I really hope this gives everyone out there a bit more confidence to talk about their own spaces and to ask others about theirs.
Me too. It's such a personal and relatable topic, and having the right words can really help you connect with people and share a part of your life.
Definitely. So if you enjoyed this episode, and we really hope you did, please go ahead and subscribe to the Smart English podcast. Also, remember to hit that like button, give us a thumbs up to help us reach more amazing learners like you. We really appreciate all your support.
Thanks for joining us today, everyone. We always love having you.